yes, I might be in a lot of places, but I promise you, till the metaverse really picks up, yes, Mr. Zuckerberg, I am here in Boston, Massachusetts. Actually, I'm here at the Amazon Robotics headquarters, and we have all sorts of coverage, like I said, on the Business Today and Tech Today social media handles. But before I get to the next bit of our show, I want to tell you a little bit about this robotic system. They call it Robin here. And when you're talking about how Amazon uses technology, I found this really fascinating, so I wanted to show it to you. On the other end of this fence, you'll see these packages that are coming in over here. They come up on this conveyor belt, and they go straight to that robotic arm. Robin then identifies which ones of them are in which zip codes or pin codes for us in India. And once those particular locations are identified, the arm picks it up, places it on one of those mobile robots, then completely automated, end up picking up this stuff and taking it to those drives over there, right? Those particular yellow things that you're seeing is how it sorts it all out. All of this happens efficiently without any human intervention. Now, if human intervention is needed and there's been a small error in this particular process, they actually have a special vest here in Amazon where the engineer can wear that vest, walk in, everything slows down, and he can rectify any sort of small issue. But this is largely a smooth and efficient process, and how you manage to get same-day deliveries and deliveries with lightning-fast speeds when you order stuff on Amazon. Now, that's me geeking it out over here. Like I said, a lot more coverage on our social media handles, our website, and on the show. A very special conversation as well is coming to you on Tech Today. But there was another conversation that I had at the India Today Conclave in Mumbai, and that was with Ankur Warikoo, YouTuber, content creator, motivational speaker, startup entrepreneur. But he had a lot of learnings in that long and circuitous journey from startup entrepreneur to YouTuber, and now, well, making the big bucks as a content creator. Here's what he had to say.
It's just interesting, Ankur, because at some point or the other, as a business journalist or even in your original avatar, our paths would have crossed. Because when I was a kid, I always dreamed of becoming an astronaut. But you also thought of being the first man on Mars. Now, is that something that we're just, giving as this PR spiel, but was that the true story? Because you did go to pursue your PhD in the US, but you dropped out. Then you come back and pursue an MBA. How did that whole chakra really happen?
So it's true. I had a three-step plan for my life. Step one was to go to the US to get a PhD. Step two was to become a space scientist and join NASA. And step three was to become the first man on Mars. And if you speak to anybody from a school and ask them, hey, do you remember Ankur Warikoo? They're like, shayad. What do you remember of him? And they'll be like, usko NASA jana tha. Like, that was my identity.
And mind you, this is much before Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk spoke about it.
This is before Elon Musk has come into the picture. This is before Shah Rukh Khan has come back to India in the movie Swades as a NASA engineer. So none of this is polluted by Bollywood or pop culture. And when I went to the US for my PhD, which I was grateful to experience, I realized that what I was doing, which was physics, was something that I was good at, but it didn't make me happy. And it was for the first time, Ayush, it struck me that what you're good at and what makes you happy could be two entirely different things. It was a shocking revelation for me, and I couldn't deal with that. I needed time to process it. And the only thing that I kept reminding myself, which I hoped was true, and now I know it is, if I'm not happy doing something, I will never be the best at it. Khatam. That's it. So it was just a very, very courageous move on my part. I do not know where I got that courage from, but I decided to step down from the PhD program, come back to India. I was completely confused. And my friends were like, hey, you're confused? So why don't you do what most confused people do? Go get an MBA. And I don't know how many of you are MBAs in the room, but we would sheepishly raise our hands to admit the fact that most MBAs, when they go on to do one, are just clueless about what to do in life, and that's why they did. That was pretty much the journey for me as well. But that 1 year at ISB just fundamentally changed me and everything about me, so I'm glad I went through that.
And while everyone's watched your content and your ads throughout the pandemic, I can imagine everyone here on YouTube has seen an Ankur Warikoo ad and then subscribed. So kudos to you for that, because your ads were quite tantalizing that way. But when you were going through this process, a little known fact that people don't really know about is that you were running a blog for what, 16, 17 years? And then you came in front of the camera. That must have been a transition for you.
The transition happened much earlier, Ayush, but it was a big transition even when it happened to the scale that it did. So you're right, and I'm very impressed that you know this fact. I started blogging when I was a business school student at ISB. So it started in 2005. I still write a blog every single day.
Yeah.
It gives me immense joy to write. And I started creating video content around 2015.
That's right.
My YouTube channel started in 2017. So I had been creating content, but it was very niche, English, entrepreneurship focused. So there was a strata of society that would appeal, be driven towards it, but not necessarily a mass audience that is today. And when I started to go deep into the content, I changed to English. I changed to much broader subjects such as personal finance and career and so on. And that changed the scale of how it has been.